Well, considering we didn't really know what it was going to be when we started, everything was a surprise.
It's very important for us to be involved with the students at UMBC because it gives us a chance to interact with the younger generation.
It all fits. It's like we all fit a little piece in the circle here.
For our students, I think it was pretty profound at kind of destroying some of their stereotypes about what it is to age.
The UMBC Charlestown project is a collaboration between the people that live here at Charlestown and a group of students who are taking a class at UMBC with the Dance Exchange company to create a new work of art.
I first became interested in a collaborative project with senior citizens, our students, and the Liz Lerman Project when I saw the Lerman Company perform.
The Liz Lerman Dance Exchange is a company of people ranging in age from 25 to 70. We all have very different movement backgrounds and ways of working. So different from maybe a more traditional dance company where people have the same shape and size and age group. We're all very different from each other. And you see a stage full of individuals when you watch us perform.
A very exciting aspect of the project is that we had students coming from the fields of sociology, social work, physics, photography, visual art, music, and dance. And I think all of the students had to stretch in terms of learning something about the other person's field.
Well, I took the class because I'm a physics major. Art has really always been where my heart lies, but it's just so hard to get involved. And I thought this would be an awesome opportunity to really work on a project, to really explore what the arts are doing in the community.
UMBC is really lucky to be so close to the Charlestown Retirement Community. It's a unique setting and institution. They're on a gorgeous campus. There's over 2,500 residents, and they're very organized. The people who live there are already very involved in a number of arts activities, community activities.
When you talk with a partner, you might find that you get into some kind of personal territory, which is great because you've built a closer relationship with this person by dancing with them over the past hour.
Working with the Liz Lerman Dance Exchange company has been different than working with any other dance company I've worked with.
It's always evolving into something new, and that's what's the challenge of this type of thing, and makes it more exciting for all of us.
I think the process was really fascinating. We all got to kind of observe a method that the Lerman people use, and it starts with story, people telling some significant story about their lives, then developing a gesture that relates to that. Then out of that gesture, a more developed movement. And then from there to choreography. And it was fascinating to see that process in motion. And I think it was very instructive for all of us.
The two areas are so close to each other, and yet there's a boundary between them because the students didn't yet know the people that lived here. So the line of questioning has started to be about how you're curious about another culture, or when are there moments of misunderstanding. Some of those misunderstandings can be very funny. Some of them can be more serious.
Well, the first thing I was involved in was a story that I told about an experience I had had crossing a cultural boundary. And that just sort of came about from a small assignment that Margot, the leader from the dance company, had said, you know, write down a time that you had a cultural misunderstanding.
So she says to me, so Sarah, have you ever been snogged by a boy? And I said, I didn't really know what snogging was, but
I will perform in a hair performance with Diana because the whole concept is a cross-cultural, like how you can get a cross-cultural misunderstanding. So me and Diana thought that hair was a huge, like, you know, cultural thing.
Well, trim your ends every 4 to 6 weeks. I know that works for me.
So right now what's going on stage is Martha Whitman, one of our company members, has directed a short section of the dance. It's called 20 Questions, and it has this lovely fence image of the people coming together to create a structure together.
I told someone I was part of a fence. That actually the fence moves.
Fences. Wood. Fences. Protect.
Many of the students expressed to me just how special it was to connect on a deep level with these older people. And of course, the older people said the same thing about connecting with the students. And both groups were saying, we live such segregated lives. And it's really difficult to have these kinds of significant connections.
I don't interact with elders that often, and everyone has a little story to tell. Specifically, one name that sticks out in my mind is Sally, just because she's always smiling and she always has a story to tell. Every time I do something, or if I smile a certain way, she'll tell me that I remind her of a family member of hers.
Oh, it's wonderful. They are so nice and so much fun. And they cue me when I forget what I'm supposed to do next.
We were all blown away by some of the seniors' ability to move and dance expressively and beautifully.
I can't get back in shape like I should, but it's sort of got me in the mood to move a little better.
If you're involved in an artistic piece with someone, there's a certain level of trust because you know that it's not just you putting yourself out there, it's also the people who you are working with are doing the same thing, so it's less scary.
It's really more about the personal relationships you build with people on the way to creating the art, not really the art in the end.
Young artists today are going to end up doing a lot of things. They're going to be, some of them will be starting their own nonprofits. Some of them will be working in the corporate world, in the academic world. They're going to be, I think, at the forefront of creating new kinds of collaborations between different kinds of institutions, as well as different kind of media. And there's no question that we're now on the cusp of an era in which services to older people are obviously going to become increasingly important. And I'm excited that these students now have a really interesting model of how they can contribute